is right now what it looks like. You guys seen it, like in the beginning, it's kind of showing.
There you go.
Hi everyone, Krista Mashore, Homes by Krista. We cannot wait to have you on the show today. We're happy that you're here, and today we have got guest speakers that are here from the new library that's going to be happening. But first, let's introduce everybody. Again, Krista Mashore, Homes by Krista. Oh, we got it.
I'm Diane Alexander from the Library Foundation.
And what do you do, Diane?
I just retired recently, but I worked for Contra Costa County Library for many years. I was in the Brentwood Library for 10 years in the 80s, and then I left there when my youngest son was born, and substituted a lot and went to work for the Liberty District.
Great.
And I was at Liberty High School for 11 years and Heritage High School, and I started the library there.
And you're going to be the head librarian?
No.
You're just helping facilitate?
No, Liz Fuller's going to be the head librarian there, and I'm so president of the Library Foundation, helping to raise money and awareness of the new library, because it's really exciting to all of us.
Great. And we've got...
I'm Bill Harms, and I'm a new resident to Brentwood. Thank you for helping us find a home.
You're welcome.
That was very useful. We moved here from suburban Chicago, and I was used to having a beautiful local library. So when I moved to Brentwood, the library is a huge disappointment.
Yes.
So that's why I got interested in being on the foundation board to help raise money for a better library in Brentwood.
But not for long. Pretty soon it's going to be super awesome. So we're all looking forward to that. We've got our host, our other co-host,
Ian McGee. I am a financial advisor in Walnut Creek. I work for a large financial firm there in the East Bay.
I'm Melissa Copperthwaite, Stearns Lending in Danville. I am a lender.
Great. Okay, so we're here to talk today about the new library that is coming to Brentwood. We are super excited about it, and they are here for a couple of reasons. To raise awareness, number one, to help raise money, because this library is going to be so awesome. There's so many things that it has. So tell us a little bit about why what does the library have that everyone should be so excited about?
Well, of course, right now they're in the back of the community center, a very small space. So this is way awesome beyond that. It's going to be 20,000 square feet.
20,000 square feet?
Yes. And it was only 6,000 square feet when it was in that little old office building. You know, many of you remember when it was in the park. And I used to work there. It was a really pretty spot, but very small.
Yes.
And it was torn down for the city hall, which upset a lot of people. So, but at least we're grateful that the city cared enough to put us in the community center during this time. And it's reduced hours, so that's unfortunate too. But this new library, when it's open, will go back to the hours that we had before, which is the best in all of East County. So we're really grateful for the city's support on that, because then it'll be open from 10 to 8, Monday through Thursday, and then Friday, Saturday, 10 to 6. So it's really useful to you. Right now, it's just in the community center hours, which is 10 to 5.
And so it's expected to be open in...
Well, the goal is the summer of 2018. And because of this increased space, there'll be a meeting room that holds about 80 people, and it opens out into a beautiful courtyard where actually people could rent them even for private activities out there.
Oh, so you can rent for private activities as well, to have meetings and such?
Right.
Okay.
But if you're a nonprofit group, you won't even have to pay, of course, to use the meeting space. And I know meeting spaces are really hard to find in Brentwood.
So nonprofit groups, you don't have to pay to rent the space. That's great to have meetings. That's wonderful.
Yes. And then the city really wanted a cafe. So we're one of the lucky ones that's going to have that. Like Pittsburgh Library has one at Walnut Creek. It's very small, just 200 square feet. But the mayor was anxious to have, besides coffee, the usual coffee, ice cream.
Oh, that's great.
He envisioned running back and forth to the park and enjoying that, sitting out in the courtyard. So that's going to be really nice. There's going to be a makerspace in there, and a makerspace is like the in thing. I was telling Kristen that I listened to a webinar on this. Over 600 people all over the world had listened on this, because there's so much excitement about this right now. Libraries have always had programs, but this will be a place where they can even have more, and including a 3D printer, the kind of things that you wouldn't be able to have in your home.
So basically a makerspace is a space where you get together and you can make things with certain groups, correct?
Well, or just maybe on your own. There could be like a class, but there's like low-tech things, like the old-fashioned things, like just playing with Legos or learning to sew or crafts or whatever. But then you get really high-tech. There's like robotics and 3D printers. It's hard to say right now exactly what will be in there. Again, it's a matter of money. So the more support we have, the more exciting things we can have.
I think what Diane said is really important for people in Brentwood to understand. The city has been extremely generous. Is it paying for the building? They're doing a really nice job on it. It's going to be a nice anchor for that end of the downtown across from City Hall. But what the city can't pay for is things like extra books. We need to raise $100,000 for books.
All that kind of stuff.
And you need that in the library, so we need that. Why do you need all those books? Well, if a kid has a project you have to do, you want to be able to go and find that book to look
Well,
it
it's a
up.
library, so you need books, right? You know, it's a library.
See, that brings me to another issue that always comes up. People say, oh, you still need libraries? People actually read books? Yes, it's amazing. I know there's Kindles out there.
Listen to this statistic. It's a great statistic, and it's actually really surprising.
Well, I mean, I have a Kindle. I like it for trips. But it's funny because for a while it just kept steadily growing, and people say, oh, nobody will ever read a book again or whatever. And now it's leveled out, and the books have been increasing, and Kindle buying has stopped. Or not stopped, but slowed down. And of course the library is always there to support that too, because you can download books and audiobooks for free from library.
E-books too?
Yeah, ebooks. You don't have to pay Amazon. And it's checked out to you for 3 weeks, and then it disappears after 3 weeks.
Wow, that's great. So you can download an e-book, a book from Amazon. I didn't even know
No,
that.
from the library.
The library, that's on Amazon.
Well, no, it's the library owns them.
Yes, gotcha. That's so cool.
That's really
Yeah.
great.
Yeah. Do you have audiobooks?
And audiobooks.
Audiobooks. Everyone should hear that. Audiobooks. That's
And you
great.
can check out, tons of books.
Yeah.
I just took the kids down to the library the other day, and I said, okay, let's get you some library books for the next 3 weeks.
Uh-huh.
And they said that we could actually get up to 50 books.
Oh,
Now,
which library was that at?
so that was at the Martinez Library.
But
So I
that's
live
part
in
of the
Martinez.
Contra Costa County system, which
Okay.
is all the same.
Now
Okay.
compare that library. Is that a good library?
It's very small.
It's pretty
Is it?
old.
It's
Okay.
very small, yeah. And the hours are very different. It was, I want to say it was a Monday, and I was trying to look up the hours, and they opened at noon, but they were open 12 to 8. So it was
Gotcha.
like, okay, so they had extended hours into the evening so people could go after
Yeah, well,
work.
Martinez is one of the smaller,
Yeah,
less
it's
supported
very
ones.
small.
You
So-
should see Walnut Creek or Lafayette.
So is
It's
this
beautiful.
is our new library going to be comparing to Walnut Creek or Lafayette? Because you're
I've been to the Walnut Creek Library, and
It's
it's
beautiful.
absolutely wonderful.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. Has multi-use. People are going in there. They're hosting events. They're using it for many purposes, and I just think it's been a great addition to the city. In Clayton, we have an older, smaller library, but
Uh-huh.
again, it's a great addition to the city. I think it brings a lot of kids in there. It's a nice place to study. I know my kids have had their grandparents take them to a library on a regular basis.
Yes.
It's just something that they do together. So I think there's a lot of positives that come from just having that available and having one of those in the
Yeah, and
area.
Walnut
Yeah.
Creek and Clayton you mentioned, like I said, I subbed in all those libraries, I've worked in all those
Okay.
libraries.
nice.
And they have like study rooms.
Yeah.
Now, when we've been in both the Brentwood libraries, even this old one, people need to get together with one other person to study. Or we have, the library system has something called Project Second Chance to teach adults to read, because there's still plenty of adults that don't know how to read.
Project Second Chance. Look that up for helping
Yeah.
adults read. So if you're needing help with reading, Project Second Chance.
Right, and so volunteers do that, but they don't meet in people's homes, they're not supposed to do that, so they need a place to go.
Uh-huh.
And when we were in the old place across the street, they were like sitting in the back room, it was very inconvenient. So now you'll have a room where you can go for that sort of thing.
Let's talk about all the things that, like, just so we really get an idea of how important that this library is going to, how it's going to help Brentwood. One thing that Diane said to me that I thought was really important was that she's actually had people come to her, and this is true, not made up, but she said people come to her and say, your library is really small. Like they were basing whether or not they were going to live in Brentwood based upon the library.
Yeah,
So
people told me that when they'd come in, and like Bill said, he had the same thoughts when he went in. And I'd be working there, and people would say that. If this is how you feel about your library, I don't know if this is where I would want to live.
Mhm.
And I know Brentwood really pushes the schools and the parks, and you got that award for the most playful city.
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
Well, that's great, but there are people that really care and judge you by that. And so we were always having to remind people. And even when I stop by the library now, people always come in and they just don't get it. They say, this is where you are, this is all you've got.
Yeah.
And so you have to explain, just like most things in life, you have to explain it over and over again that this is coming, it's going to be really exciting, and we want people to be part of that.
Yeah, it's downtown. In fact, we got some pictures. It's downtown. We can show on the screen of Matt, if we can get those on, of exactly what it looks like right now. So right now, they're just starting construction. Barely, it's a vacant lot. It's a huge location downtown Brentwood, which will obviously add to how nice downtown Brentwood is. If you look here, you see this is what it looks like as we speak, and here's what it's going to be looking like. The proposed what it's going to be looking like when it's done and when it's completed. So if we can also take a look of what the actual blueprint is going to be on the inside of the library, so we can kind of get something to get excited about.
Now, there's another exterior.
Yeah, another exterior photo right here of the outside of the library. I mean, beautiful. It really takes down the whole downtown look. There's also, I think, a blueprint, Matt, of it's gonna roll through. Okay, yeah, it'll just keep rolling through. So
That's what we
There
have.
it is.
Yes, there's a blueprint of it, what the inside of the actual library is going to be looking
That's
like.
just one floor, yeah, we have it, in our packet, we have that.
Yeah, I think that shows the
Yeah, there you
2
go.
stories.
2
in there.
stories, okay.
And I also want to make sure everybody realizes where it is, you know. It's,
Yes, tell us.
Okay, it's on the corner of Oak Street and 3rd, and, you know, it's right directly across the street from the community center.
Yes,
So-
in the city park, right across.
Right across from the city park. We used to be in the city park. We moved across the street to an old office building that they had with the idea that they were going to come along and remodel and make it bigger. Well, you know, a building that was built in the 30s or 40s certainly has problems, and they did a needs assessment study and found that it was totally inadequate for the future, and that's when we were so grateful. The city last October decided that they were going to pay for the building.
Gotcha. Okay. So it's funny that Barbara Matheson said, exciting, my granddaughters will love it. Yes, Barbara, make sure you take them there. So now let's talk about what exactly are we going to be able to have in the library. Can you explain like everything the library is going to have, like be really specific? Like they're going to have, you know, nights where they, you know, and all this is preliminary, but here's what to expect. They're, again, and funding is important. So part of the reason why we have Diane and Bill on there is that they do need funding, and we want to make our library as good as possible and have as many amenities as possible. So we need your help, community. Pepper, we need your help to help us get there. So tell us what we're going to be having.
Okay, well, one of the things that we're asking for money for is public art, which is required by...
Public art?
Yeah, public art. The
Okay.
city requires that. 1% of the budget has to go toward that.
And is that art that's from people in the community?
Well, they'll stand out bids, and I assume it'll be from people from the community.
Okay.
Even-
There'll be things like mosaics on the wall, on the
Yeah.
courtyard when you come in. And those
I was
things,
thinking we should have like this really great picture of Ian. You know, he could be sitting
Yeah.
there.
That would be-
Yeah.
Okay.
That would get a lot of attention.
Yeah.
Response
Get
from
an
you.
artist to paint that. We'll do that.
Oh,
And statues too. I mean, you think those are the kinds of things people remember and connect
Yes.
with the building. You know, so that's why that artwork is important.
Okay, so art, what else?
And
I have one in Walnut Creek. That bald yellow head. I think that was.
A bubble. Maybe a bubble.
I think that was part of that vision
bobblehead,
right
okay.
there.
We could sell one.
Bobblehead night.
Yeah.
Bobblehead night.
Well, there'll be these study rooms that we've talked about where people can go and work and have meetings.
Okay.
And also it'll be, 85 people in that, it's not really a conference room, it's like a small space for book talks, and what else could go in
Well,
there?
all the
Book
children's
talks,
programs.
okay, so
The children's programming will be in there. Because right now, when they do a children's program, they have to use the community center.
So let's explain what a children's program is. What is a
Well,
children's
like
program?
I have the schedule right here, just for
Yes,
the summer.
there you go.
Awesome.
And they have the paper airplane guy is coming Tuesday, July 18th. There's on August 29th, there's the Medicine Warrior Dance Troupe. Adventure Under the Sea is June 20th. Now these are all programs that cost money, so the Friends of the Library have paid for them. But right now, we use the community center big room, which would be fine, except we have to actually pay, just like anybody else, to use that space.
Wow, from the library?
Well, yes, they're done as a nonprofit, but we have to pay for the staff coverage time.
So Medicine Warrior Dance Troupe, Tuesday, August 29th. Paper Airplane Guy, Tuesday, July 18th. Adventures Under the Sea, Tuesday, June 20th. There's plenty of things that are going there. Babies and Toddlers Tuesdays. I mean, there's a lot of story
Yes.
time in your pajamas.
You know what's great about all that? It's just getting the kids away from the screen, right? They're
Yeah.
getting
Yeah.
out,
Oh,
they're
yes.
reading, they're doing other things. It's huge. So I'm a big fan of
And
that.
you've got
That's
some
awesome.
young kids, so that's
They're growing up, but you know, they get enticed by the screen and the games, and you know, the friends are doing it. But
Yeah.
you know, we try to encourage, hey, go out,
and play.
you know, make a game up in the street, play some, you know, baseball, some pickup basketball.
Well, that's another
run
thing that
around.
can happen in that makerspace, coding. That's the in thing too. in
Oh,
libraries, to
that's
find people
really
to
neat.
teach coding for the kids, which
So with
can lead to a
Makerspace, do
career.
they have to actually, are they certain time specific, or do you just show up and you can do anything?
Well, but it's too early to say on that.
Okay.
But some of the things I would think you'd be able to show up if you can do it on your own.
That's really neat.
I doubt that the 3D printer you can just go in alone. You know, they're going to want some help on that.
Okay.
But it depends what the
Well, I want to
activity
try the 3D printer. That sounds pretty neat.
You know, that takes programming, whether you had to
Right.
learn how to program it. But think of the advantage kids will have if they've been in high school and they've been able to do 3D printing, and then they go to college. And that gives them just a tremendous leg up. And that's the kind of opportunities we want to give young people. In
Yes.
Wonderful.
Yes, it's all about our community. It's all about our students. So 3D printing, is that, they have to pay for that?
Probably not. We don't charge for things.
I can't read.
And then,
You're here. What does it say? Hold on. Listing appointment in, Josh says, I can't go. Okay. Sorry.
well, actually, right now, we have less adult programs right now because we're only open one night, and actually we have to pay for staff time on that since the community center closes at 5. Like they have a lady that teaches beading, she comes in at night.
Oh, beading, okay.
Yeah, so when we're open at night again, we have that meeting room, we can have all kinds of speakers. There's a book club that still meets, that everybody has to do their thing on that one night because we've only got that one right now.
So basically, once it's open and there's going to be more availability for us to bring more different things to our community, and people within the community then can rent out or even have it for free.
Right, and we look
to
at
actually use
volunteers,
it.
if you have certain skill that you wanted people to learn more about, that's the kind of people we like too. That's in the future, that's more volunteer opportunity like that.
Mm-hmm.
You'd just be surprised, there's that little niche out there that has the same interests as you, and you get those people together and they can learn from each other.
Yeah, I think you could do like a cooking night or something like that.
Yeah.
That might be, that wouldn't work, Congress.
Well, in a way it could.
Yeah.
I think the other thing that people don't realize that's available at libraries is these free passes to museums. And there's free passes to 50 museums in the San Francisco area, including the one that I'm real excited about, is the Railroad Museum in
So
Sacramento.
explain that one. So the library offers free
Well,
passes to museums?
It's called Discover and Go. You go
Okay.
on the website. This is the whole system.
Okay.
And you go in and all you need is a library card, so you have a number to check in, and then you sign up, and you can go, like you said, 50 different places.
Wow, and what's the one you're excited about, Bill?
It's the Railroad Museum in Sacramento.
Okay. Oh yeah, I've been
Yeah, that's
there.
really
If your grandson loves railroads, it's the place to go.
So let's talk. This right here is like its own topic within itself.
Yeah.
So let's talk about this pass that you can get, and talk about some of the other museums that you, for free, by having a card, a library card, can actually go to. What
Well,
else?
it changes all the time, really. Exploratorium in San Francisco.
Oh, that's great.
Man, I paid for that whenever
I
I
was
go.
gonna say,
I
it's
always
like,
feel guilty
I think
not
it's like
paying.
$35 a person
Yeah.
to get in.
Yeah.
The
Wow.
Comic Book Museum in San Francisco, the Asian Art Museum, I've seen that up there sometimes. That Discover Museum in Marin.
So you're
It's all
saying
over.
that if somebody has a library card, they can go to the library and punch in something
Well, you
and
can
get
do it at
into the
home.
Exploratorium for free.
You don't even have to go to the library. You can look up, go to our.
Really?
What a
in
huge
fact,
benefit.
If
Yes.
You go to the library's website, cclive.org, well, first of all, you can look at your branch and see what's going on there. You can look in the catalog. If you see anything you want, you can place a hold and have it sent to pick it up in Brentwood. If you live in Discovery Bay and you want to pick it up, you can pick it up at the community center. It's something new, the service to there. And the Discover and Go is on there. We have all kinds of reference things that the library system pays for, like if you're doing research projects and you need magazine articles, or especially with kids, you do pro and con articles. They've got it all broken down, both sides of the argument, so it's perfect. There's something called Flipster now. Where the latest magazine.
Flipster.
Let's see, I wrote that down. I always forget what I want to call it. Flip it.
It's
But-
not one of those fidget things.
Yeah, no, it's called Flipster.
Yeah.
No, it's just on the website. And you go there, you click on the magazine you want, and it's like flipping through the magazine,
Oh,
page
Oh
by page.
wow, that's great. Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually have that on here. I know
So
that's
that'll
what you're
save you
talking
money too. You
Yeah.
don't have to buy all
So
these things.
Matt Brown, the cost of the pass is free. There's nothing, it doesn't cost anything, just so you know. It's a free pass that you get from actually being a member and having it at the library. So that right there is like a great nugget.
Yeah.
I didn't even know anything about that.
Everything we do is free, but we're required to do that.
Well, I'm
So-
checking that out tonight.
Yeah.
Every time I go to
Yes.
the library, I'm fascinated by all that they have to offer. I just can't believe. I'm like, wait, how many more can we get? And,
Yes.
and and the kids, a lot of times they're not going to read everything that we get, but they can
They have
choose. There's
choices.
options. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Well, actually,
And they
when it
have
comes to
3
books,
weeks.
you can have up to 100. That's kind of a secret.
And it's
But
movies
it's
too.
true.
You can
And
do
no
movies
older
also.
movies,
So if you
yeah.
have little kids that don't care about having it be the hit new movie, you can get them movies, all sorts of
So
stuff.
you can rent movies from the library.
Yeah.
It's been a while since I've been to the library, so excuse me, I'm too busy on the internet looking. But
Well,
you
and
have
also
computers.
TV shows, people that say they want to go binge watching. I think every program that has a series, you can get the
Wow.
whole series there. And-
Really, at the
yeah.
library.
Yeah, so
It's your own Netflix, like right at the library.
exactly.
It is.
Yeah.
And again, if it's not in well, if it's not sitting in your branch, you place the hold, and wherever it is, when it comes back, it'll come to you.
That's great. So you get anything from anywhere. So they're going to have computers that kids can use, correct? Free access to the printers, free access to the 3D printer. That's free.
Right.
Well,
Wow.
unless we have to charge for the materials. I'm not quite sure on that yet.
Okay.
Yeah. But they can use the internet for free and all of that.
And actually, the library system has something called Link Plus. So if it's not in all of Contra Costa County, which is 26 branches, it gives you all of California and Nevada.
Great.
And you can look there, and that includes colleges too. So I'm amazed at the kind of thing.
I'm ashamed of myself for not knowing just how great the library was.
But see, that's why we like these opportunities, because I meet people everywhere. Go, oh, does anybody use the library anymore? Or that, oh, you have to be real quiet, you know. And it's like, obviously you haven't been there.
Yeah.
I can always tell. You know?
Yeah.
Well,
so-
that's a function of the library not being very attractive before. And I think once we
Yeah.
have
Right.
a sparkly new building with all these facilities, you know, people just really want to beat the door down and come in and see what there is to offer.
Yes.
That'll
I
bring a
think
different energy.
It will. I mean, look at the Walnut Creek Library. It's right downtown.
Is it very busy? Super busy.
It is. It's
Oh,
right
yeah.
across the street from Maria Maria. Do you remember?
Yes.
Yeah. So right across from
There's a park right there.
There is, and the parking garage goes down under. They did it really nicely.
Well, from the plans on here, they're going to be doing this really nicely as well.
Yeah.
I mean, you can tell they're putting a lot into it.
Yeah, 20,000 square feet.
Yeah, that's huge.
Yeah.
But again, we need funding. So you want to talk a little bit about what the kind of funding that you're doing and
Well, the kind of things that we've been doing toward fundraising is we've had 3 events over the last 3 years, kind of like the party planning stuff. 3 years ago, we had a murder mystery party.
ooh,
fun.
murder mystery party.
We did that at Shadow Lakes, and yeah, that was fun. And then
You should do another murder mystery party because there was just one at Hannah Nicole and it was sold out.
I
And it
went
was
to
on.
one. I went to one.
Did you go?
Maybe,
Yeah.
maybe we were both there.
I wasn't there. It was my daughter's graduation. I think. Or
Anyway,
something.
yeah, they do them more than once. Yes, so I went to one there.
Is it stopping?
No, it's just a.
Oh, okay, good.
And then the following year, we did something called the Language of Flowers Luncheon. Because another thing that happens at the library every year is City Read. It's in the fall, and it's when we promote like one book for like everybody everywhere to read. And the friends and different organizations that contribute to give copies of the book, so you can stop and get a copy for yourself, and hopefully you'll trade it with other people, so that many people are reading it. And then there's a major program to go along with it, which is the author usually. And so when we had that, the book was called The Language of Flowers by Vanessa Devenbach, which was really, it was a bestseller. And it was an interesting topic because it was about foster kids. So we had this luncheon. There was almost 200 people there.
Wow, that's great.
And she spoke at the luncheon, and she spoke that night. And then last fall, people were urging us saying, well, you should have a real fancy event. So we had this black, white, and read all over gala.
So how can we do something now? Like what can we do to help
Well,
you?
we're planning right now something November 8th.
Okay.
That's why I brought that quilt.
Okay.
So the City Read book in the fall is called The Distance Between Us by Reina Grande.
Okay.
And it's about a woman who grew up in Mexico, and her parents had to take off into the United States and work just to survive and send money home. And she was left with a horrible grandmother and the difficulty of finally getting here, and now she's a successful author. So it's November 8th that she's coming, and so that's when we're having the luncheon. It's a Wednesday. And Monday was with a group. This is another exciting thing. We're tracking more people who want to help the library. So we've got this committee that's formed to plan this event, and it'll be Mexican food because it's a Mexican theme. And then
Oh, look what we have here. We've got something cool.
Your handiwork.
well, just because it's my little hobby. This is going to be a raffle prize. We'll be showing this at the Harvest Festival and all. I have to add ribbons to all these little places because they're pinatas.
Very nice work.
And so that will.
So
be,
this is going to be a raffle,
that'll be raffled off at the deal. So the
At the
main
deal,
will be
okay.
selling tickets.
and this is November
November 8th,
November 8th.
Wednesday.
November 8th. Okay.
The other thing we're doing to raise money is we have naming opportunities for people who want to contribute to a specific part of the library.
Okay.
If you want to pay for a statue or have your name on a room, we have a lot of information on our website, which is BrentwoodLibraryFoundation.org. And you can go there and find that out. So in addition to raising money for the books, so people can do that. And what is really exciting to me is we'll have a wall in the library where people have given their individual gifts the businesses and individuals in the community will be recognized on the wall.
Oh, that's great.
So every time someone walks in, they can see who in the community has been supporting the library, and if they've given money, they can see their name. And if they have a child or grandchild, they can say, look, we helped support the library.
Yeah, that's great.
So it's a way of recognizing the generosity that's here in
You
Brentwood.
could do it in memory of somebody, but I mean, like if you include your business name or whatever, I mean, it's promotion. It helps both ways, you know. It
Yes.
helps you get your name out there, and it helps us. And we, you know, so far with that chart, you're talking about naming. We're finding some people wanting their name at the same place, so it's kind of like we're going through a process
Very
right now.
popular places.
Yeah, you want like right in the middle when you walk in, everyone wants to see their
so
name.
we're
right
going
there.
through a process of figuring out exactly how that's going to go. But you know, certainly for the larger spaces, that could be named after that person. So
That's great. So meaning the more money that you give, you get the better spot.
Yeah, when you
Well,
get your name
yeah.
higher up on the list.
Krista and I are donating Ian as a statue.
Okay.
Front and center, right when you
That's
walk
really
in,
big. That's
right in
really
the courtyard.
Yeah. Hey, he'll be naked. Just kidding. We can't get to that, can we? Oh well. Okay, great. So then, anything else that we just want, you know?
Well,
So
another point I wanted to make, you know, that people say to me, because I get, like I said, all these silly comments, is like, we're making a big deal about our teen area, and actually right now we're applying for a grant from the Lesher Foundation.
the Lesher Foundation.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which, you know, the money came from the Brentwood, the newspaper, the Contra Costa Times.
Okay.
That's the owners, and they've given out major money in the. And in the Walnut Creek Library you mentioned, if you saw their name, their name's on the children's room.
Oh, okay.
And so we're applying for a grant for the teen area. And so in just gathering information, if we find that teens, actually, the publishing industry is publishing more for teens now than any other age group, because they.
See, this is very important. This was shocking to me.
They are
Repeat that,
actually
so
reading
that-
a lot.
So
Yeah.
repeat that. So the teenagers are the highest.
As far as publishers go, that is their main thrust right now, and it has increased all the time.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's great.
surprising.
And I
Yeah.
can really speak to that too, having worked at the high schools
Mhm.
for 16 years. If kids are giving some books that they actually like,
Mm-hmm.
then they want to read more. And so when I worked at the high school, I did a lot of book talks promoting that, and it's really exciting to see that change. And I must mention too, one of my sub jobs was there's a library in the Boys Ranch out there. It's actually part of our Contra Costa system.
Uh-huh.
And here you're dealing with boys that often would say, "Oh, I never read anything before I came."
Yeah, they're
now
very
you
different.
can admit we had a captive audience.
Yeah, exactly.
But once they start reading, it changes everything. And if you can read well, you can do everything else well.
Yes, exactly.
So it's this whole teen. The thing is about supporting teens is extremely important. And yes, they really do read.
And there's
Yeah,
going to be
that's
opportunities for tutoring too in the library.
Yeah.
And I think the other thing that people have to be aware of is we're going to have a huge children's library.
A huge children's
Yeah, and
library.
that's lots of books, spaces for reading groups. You know, and kids really get excited if they come into a library and it's just based all on their size.
Yes.
You know, little games to play and other things, and that really encourages them to
Yeah,
want to
maybe
It's
use
so
the
cute, a
library.
little kids, a little kid library. Everything's their size. It makes great sense.
Yeah, so actually we're looking at some, you know, there's fabulous equipment made these days that are like learning too, things you can do. And we're looking at having some of that, because I have in fact, one donor who wants to give specifically to that. So we're looking for that sort of thing. And it really attracts the kids. When I was working at the Brentwood Library, once a kid came in and said, "Ooh, this looks boring." But once it doesn't look boring,
Mhm.
they love it. And it's a place you just want to hang out. Right now, at least at the old place when we were across the street, there was really no where to sit, like for the teenagers. There's not a place to be. At Heritage, they have a gorgeous library, and it was a place just to be.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry.
So,
gonna
but
move this a
now
little bit
they
so
don't
it's-
have school librarians in every library in the school district and high school, unfortunately, so they don't have as many services. Which brings me to another point. They all close like at 3:15.
Yeah.
So that's another reason why you need the library there after school, you know, and of course
Yeah.
Liberty is within walking distance,
Mhm, mhm.
and Garin, and
So it's a big deal. I mean, this library is a big deal. And someone said we should do something for the Kranick family. Kranick, that's who did the donating. Kranick family. I'm not sure.
I know.
So Tanya, I'm not sure what you mean about that. We should do something for the Kranick family. If you want to elaborate on that, that you can. That'd be great. Just so we can kind of talk about it and maybe elaborate on whatever you're saying. So if you want to explain that, if you're still watching, then we can.
yeah, I mean if it's something like a gift in honor somebody, whatever, too.
Yeah.
Again, that's an opportunity.
And I'd like to encourage you, if you're watching this donate. Every little bit helps. Even if everyone gave $10 or $100 or $25 or whatever it might be, every little bit helps. Even if every single person in Brentwood just gave $1, that would be a lot of money. Or every member in your family, if there's 5 of you, give $5, or maybe even add a 0 to that. It might be,
Think about when you buy a book. I mean, average books are anywhere from $10 to $25, depending on if it's a hardback or not. So instead of going and buying that next book, donate that to the library, and then look how much it will grow from there.
And that reminds me too, when you said $1, we do have another campaign coming up through the schools. One of the people on our board, Lynn Brown, and I went and met with the superintendent, Danny Eaton, for the Brentwood School District. And he's going to meet with all the principals, but we had the library clerks from the Brentwood elementary schools there. And they all thought it was a good idea. I think the theme will be something like Love Your Library. And people send in, $1, whatever, and which will hopefully add up to a lot.
Yes.
Right.
And then we'll split the money to get the schools to participate. We'll split the money with that school. They get to keep half in their library, and the other half will go to us. But not just the money, but it's the great attention we'll get from that. And I've asked both the leadership teachers, the one at Liberty, Summer Rodriguez, and the one at Heritage, and they want to go along with it too, and they'll run it through the high school at the same time.
Great. I love it, getting the schools involved.
Yeah.
And then the schools, they can do, I remember when I was young that they did remember field trips to the library, and you were so excited. And now, would they be able to do things, for example, if somebody in the community had, like you were saying, they were great at teaching, you'd said, weaving or whatever it might be, they could actually teach classes for free.
We would love to see people like that.
Yes. So I'm going to encourage people in the community to kind of use your imagination. Think about ways that we can use the library to bring us together closer as a community, right? Think about ways that we can use the library to educate each other, to educate our students, to educate our adults, to just bring as much value as possible. There's so much that this library can do. It's gorgeous. It's going to be huge. Opening up in...
like this article said, beyond books, today's library is the new community center.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, sometime next year, Krista. We're hoping maybe during the summer. It's going to depend on the construction schedule, but it'll be a wonderful event. The other thing I think that's worth people realizing is how much adults can use the library. And even people, I consult a little bit, and I go to the library a lot, not here as much because it's smaller, to do things like using the printer to run stuff off, to look up information, and somehow it's nice just to be someplace quiet.
Yes.
To do your work and be away from home. It's kind of like having a little office away from your house. And having this cafe next door is going to kind of make it a better location.
So Tanny Misk was a teacher in Brentwood, and she just said, I can't wait to bring my class there. And so, which is great. And hey, Tanny, you can have your students bring money and they can go to the cafe and they can get ice cream, and they'll really, really like the library, right? I'll tell you what, when you bring your class there, I'm going to buy every kid in your class an ice cream when you take them there. So you have my word on that.
When you mentioned too, for adults, we have references or services that you business people might be interested in. There's something called Reference USA, where you can find out all kinds of demographic information on the people in town. It's good for any kind of businesses selling things.
What's that called again?
It's called Reference USA, and that's something. It's actually through the whole library system, but you can use our computers to look at it.
And he had just mentioned that you can use the printers and everything there. There's no charge.
Oh no, you have. Well, it's not.
A charge.
I mean, there has to be because of paper and ink and all of that.
That's 15
cents.
Yes.
Okay, but even that is minimal. I mean, think of how many times clients go in and they have to go to UPS or the mailing stores to fax me items or whatnot, or they're copying numerous things.
Oh, we get many people, although you can't fax, unfortunately, but you can copy a lot. Tax time, oh my gosh, you really go crazy.
I bet,
Because we don't give out the federal forms, just the state ones, but people are always printing out the forms, and some libraries, I know Concord has advisors on taxes, maybe that's something we could have someday.
What about scanning? I'm assuming you can scan.
No, you can't.
You can't? Okay.
I think we might be able to do that in the new library, because I scanned a lot in my previous library as part of the business I was doing. That's so handy to print something out, go set it up to scan,
Jesse,
send it out.
Give me a cord. My thing is dying, just so I can read the comment. Sorry, guys, I don't mean to be rude.
Well, I think it's
I'm
great
listening,
too, just having the ability.
You got some more comments?
Yeah, we've got some more comments. And somebody said, Liz Fuller, thank you. Passes vary depending on the museum. Sometimes it's a free pass for a family of 4. Sometimes it's buy one, get one free.
Is Liz saying that? She's
Liz
the librarian.
Oh yeah, Liz is the librarian.
Yeah,
Liz,
so
if you
she
have anything
would
else
know.
you wanna
She would
say.
know.
Yeah, we should have had you on here, Liz. And then Laura Ann Short, she said, hello, Bob Brockman. Yeah, Brockmani, okay? So, okay, great. I'm excited about the library. And I mean that too. I've never been like a super library, I'm an audio person, but now that you say they have audio,
They do
I'm
that for
even
you too.
so excited.
Which
about
is
that.
great for trips and commuters.
Yeah, road trip.
Yeah.
You know,
But
one
it-
other thing I mentioned, would want to mention too that's going to be in there is the Friends are going to have a bookstore in there. And right now, they're just in a little nook, and right in the old place, we were just in a shelf in the library, you know, so people got confused what was what. But they're still plugging along. They sell a lot of stuff on Amazon of all places, and they've been making some good money because they don't have as much space.
Now
down here.
explain it exactly, because I'm sorry, we're gonna make sure it's really clear everyone understands.
Okay, the Friends of the Brentwood Library take donations from people, books, and they sell them very cheap. Usually $1 for a hardback, 50 cents for a paperback.
Perfect.
Okay,
They
good.
rarely give a higher price even on something good. They've been pulling out special things that they sell on Amazon, and have made a few $1,000s on that.
Yeah.
But they actually this Thursday, June 29th, from 2 to 4, they're having a little special sale right near that book nook.
Okay.
Where they're emphasizing certain kinds of books, like cookbooks, children's books and all. Because they have to keep the inventory going, because people still want to give all the time.
Makes sense.
We've had to cut back on what we'll take because there's nowhere to put it.
Wow.
But because
Yeah, you
it's
can
been a
unplug
pretty
that
good
one.
turnover, it's still up. But in the new library, they'll have their own whole little bookshop
Okay.
Wow.
up on the second
So if we have
story.
any books at home that our kids have maybe outgrown and we haven't
Yes.
passed on to the next generation, gather
Yes.
them up and
Absolutely.
bring them in.
We're always looking for that, yes.
Okay.
We have a great group of volunteers that do that, and that money goes to pay for these programs, buys a lot of things for the library. This summer, there's the summer reading program, another program I should mention. That haven't.
How do you keep
Summer
track of
reading
all those
program.
programs?
Yeah, see, there's-
She's got them all up here.
She's dialed in.
What?
I'm in the summer reading program.
Oh, you've been,
Oh.
Lexi, come here, come here. You've been,
I'm
come.
feeling sick.
Okay, well, good luck, idea. So Lexi's actually been to the summer reading program, which is good.
I the other day.
Yeah, and it's gonna be nice and big. Aren't you excited for the new one?
Yeah.
That's Lexi Miskos, everyone. She's here and she's excited about the library.
And there's a teenager.
Strong
see, she
supporter.
Yeah, she's a teenager, so
I
I
currently have 2 books checked out right now.
you currently have 2 books checked out. Oh my gosh, she's gonna be a lawyer, by the way. So yeah, she's very, very
But the
smart.
summer reading program, every library has this every year, and it's actually all ages. They have a special form just for babies, well, 0 to 2, where it includes little activities that you do with your kids. And then you check off a thing every time you read to them or do an activity. You know, it's all, it's totally up to you. We're not checking on you or anything. And then after that, the
Are you
form-
sure, Diane?
No, we're gonna come into your house. So, and then after that, it's from 2 to adults, and you adults can do this too. Set a good example for your kids. You read, check off the time, and you get a free book. And usually, I'm not sure what
There's
the
a
price is.
raffle at the end too.
Yeah, there's a
I think
raffle.
one
Now,
of
when
the-
is this again?
Right now, it's all summer.
All summer.
You're on,
Okay.
if you just get the form and you're on your own at home. Yeah.
So let's get our kids off of social media. So I'm gonna sort of just talk about something. Okay, let's as a group talk about it. But so I run a group. It's called Teens Lifting Lives, and basically it's where we meet with these children once a week, and we talk about mindset. And we read 2 books. We're actually reading right now. I'm a Badass from Jen Sincero, and then the 5-Second Rule with Mel Robbins. Now let me explain what I found from this group, which has been really shocking to me. Actually, it's not shocking, but almost every single student that's been in this program has said that their phone and social media is what it causes them major anxiety, right? Like they as much as they love it, it causes them a lot of stress and anxiety because they're constantly seeing what everyone's doing.
Yeah.
And you know, we've really it's partly our fault as parents, right? I am definitely guilty of it. I've allowed my kids to have a phone, and it's causing them anxiety because they're constantly able to see what everyone else is doing. Now, even if we were just to tell our kids, okay, once a week for an hour, you're going to actually have to go to the library and actually turn your phone off, leave it in the car, and just let your mind have some peace. You know, a part of this program right now is we have the kids 1 hour a day turn their phone off and 1 day per week, and they all actually said they like it, believe it or not. Like
We like it. Think
Yeah.
about it when you're on vacation and we actually shut down work for a day.
Yes.
You know, because I mean, we're all guilty of it. We're glued to our devices.
Mhm.
I mean, yes, it does give us the flexibility with our jobs where we can be on vacation, but vacation is supposed to be vacation.
Yes.
You shouldn't be working the whole time.
Yes.
And when you actually shut down or we have no service for a few hours or a
wonderful.
day,
I love that.
you're like, oh goodness,
Yeah.
work will continue tomorrow. So yeah, think about these
Right.
kids. I think about them being in school and
Way too accessible.
way too accessible. And so think about it. If you're trying to listen to a teacher and your phone keeps lighting up next to you, you know, because they keep it open in their backpack or whatnot, and so they're sitting there and they keep looking at it. How would you ever focus in a classroom? We never had.
How many of you call your kids during the day?
All the time. Well, I text,
instantly,
but
they're
yes,
in class.
we're all
and they're-
guilty of it.
And they're, I'm like, why aren't you, oh mom, it's break. Like, why is it every time I call you, you tell me that you're on break?
It's not break.
I don't believe you. You're on your
Yeah,
phone.
it's not great.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're on your phone.
It's
Yeah.
a constant battle for the teachers. It's
Oh,
really
Well, and I've
Yeah.
asked the teachers too because I've had meetings with teachers and said, you know, what's going on? My daughter's always been a good student. Why all of a sudden? And they're like, well, the phone is a constant distraction.
Mhm.
And I said, why does she have her phone? And they're like, well, it's really hard to monitor, especially because kids are now on laptops in class or iPads.
Yes.
They hide the phone behind the laptop. So the teacher thinks they're over there doing this, they're on their phone. So huge distraction.
Yes.
But I know, just wait. Your kids will get there.
Yeah, I'm not quite there yet, but I mean, you're right.
How old
I-
are your kids in?
So I have an 8-year-old and an 11-year-old. So the 11-year-old is going to be going into 7th grade. So she does have a phone because she's at the dance studio a lot, and we like to just keep in touch with her.
Yeah.
But I think back to your point, it's like we get a lot of satisfaction and gratification from social media, and I think somehow we need to shift that back to these one-on-one, you know, interpersonal relationships as opposed to some of these like virtual relationships.
Yes.
So.
And be careful too with your kids on social media. I mean, it's real as far as what they're being exposed to and predators and such. And you know, I wish I would have taken more of a stance on with social media with my kids and with the phones. Just basically after learning what I've learned the past few months, just how stressful it is.
For their protection. I mean, they
Yeah.
just don't know.
Exactly.
But I'm so delighted to hear though that the teen program is the most successful because
Yeah. Well, they're
I-
age 16-year-olds, right? You said.
Well, as far as reading,
Yeah.
I'm just talking about, the whole teenage are reading more if there's something they like. Now, as far as programs in the library, the children is, wow. I mean,
Okay.
that is
Yeah.
just,
that's what
Yeah,
everybody
really
does.
better.
many people come with their kids.
Now, do you think that the teens are they mostly reading from their phones or Kindles, or are they actually
No,
picking
they're
up
actually reading books. In fact,
Wow,
there's
good.
this Pew Foundation does a lot of studies on that, and actually, teens were the more likely to be reading books than others. And in fact, there was a study recently the American Library Association put out that they'd done all across the country that teens are actually the main ones, age group using the library. Now, a lot of it's technology.
But who cares? Just get them in there because
Right.
I might catch a book.
They're trying to get away from their parents.
Teenagers, you want to get rid of your parents? Guess what? You want to go to the library. You want a break.
That's a
They
great thing.
welcome
Yeah.
you there.
There's not a lot of bad things happening in the library.
There's really
so
not.
At least we
good.
hope.
That's a
Try
good
not
sign.
to.
Yeah.
I want to, Liz wrote in, I want to make a shout out to her. She is doing an amazing job. She's
Emily Duran
That's
said, so
awesome.
excited with the new library. Matt Graham said, teens don't have money or credit cards to get books online.
That's
So
right.
that they can use the teens and they can use the library for that. Good job. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, I'm just trying to make sure we answer the questions of
Okay.
a wonderful audience.
No, I was just going to say that now that the library's in the community center, Liz has to go work 3 days a week in the Antioch Library, and she's just here on Mondays and Fridays, but she's got to keep 2 places going and do all the planning that's coming, and she's doing a great job making.
Liz, we want to thank you for
Yeah.
taking such good care of our library.
Yeah, she's really excited to have a lot of programming in the future and looking for volunteers to do that sort of thing. And Lindsay DuPont is the children's librarian that's at Brentwood, and she's having to share her time. I think it's at Martinez. So again,
So you need volunteers.
yeah, so it was important to her to keep those programs going because, again, that these are our future readers with the kids. So,
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And the librarians are always so helpful. When I just went recently, we had misplaced our cards. I went in and I just had to walk through the process, and the woman was so patient. She walked me through everything, took me over, showed me how to input everything. Then again, I was so fascinated by how much I could take with me.
Yeah.
I'm going on vacation. I'm like, I want as many books as I can because I want to be on the beach and reading, and I don't have a Kindle. I want a book. I want to snuggle up
Yes.
with a book. You said you do the audio?
I'm an audio person. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So do you have all audios on there? So for example, if people wanted motivational audios, they can get
Oh,
that.
sure, all kinds. And if you want books on CD, they have them in this library right here even. And you
Okay,
can
do they
order
have Audible in there right now?
Right.
Okay, so let me make a suggestion then. Everyone here that's listening should go and rent the Audible, the 5-Second Rule with Mel Robbins and I'm a Badass with Jen Sincero. Excellent books. It helps with mindset. Your kids will love them too. Go rent that book. Now tell me if they do. I'm actually wondering if you watch this.
Liz, you watch for that.
Yeah, Liz Fuller said turning red here. I'm not sure what that means.
Oh,
What
she's
is it?
embarrassed.
Oh, that's right. Okay, there you go. I was like, is it bad perception? Yeah. Yeah, that perception. Well, we really do appreciate you, so I hope I get to. I'm going to meet you, so I'm going to go in there and use the library. Okay, great. So anything else you wanted that we should make sure we touch on?
One
while
other
you're
thing
here?
that I wanted to mention too, we keep mentioning young people, but you'd be surprised how many people turn to the library for getting a job.
Ooh.
First of all, if they don't have a computer at home, they'll go down there and the librarians will help them with the job searches. And actually, I think that the main screen for cclive.org, has a whole page of references on getting jobs and how you go about it. So that is another thing. And when I worked at the library a lot too, I would encounter particularly older people that didn't really know how to use things. And now people are so embarrassed to even say that. And a lot of times they need to do something where they need an email address.
Yeah.
So we would show them how to set up an email address. You can't even get a job unless you have some way that they'll
Yes.
connect.
So you help them with all that.
Right.
Wow.
That's great.
Wow, that's great. So you're helping people.
I mean, that's just why I've always liked the job, because it's always satisfying. You're always helping people, and you meet such a variety of people
Yeah.
too.
Mm-hmm. So let's keep going. I'm looking through this to make sure we didn't miss anything.
Well, I just was going to mention too, this shout out to the city
Yeah,
again.
keep on talking.
That we're so grateful that they're doing this for us. I mean, everywhere is such a struggle. I know in Oakley they tried to pass a bond that didn't, so they were still working. But the city decided it was last October, that it wasn't even that long ago that they had decided to do that. And this was after, a lot of push, like we need the library. And so they voted to spend $12.2 million, which is half of what Walnut Creek is, actually, I think. But still,
Wow,
it's gonna be-
12.2 million. So it's half of the.
Yeah,
That's
but it's
great.
still going to be nice, and it's that included 7.7 million that they had remaining from community facilities fund. So we have a wonderful city manager, Gus Vina, who steered them to figure out how to do this.
Is that Mark?
No,
Gus.
no.
Oh, Gus.
He's the city manager. Steve
Okay.
Barr
Oh,
is
gotcha.
on
Local.
the city council.
Yes.
Yeah, and so.
I should have whispered that.
So everything was great, and except when they figured out, they actually need more money, so they had to go back, and they agreed to give 1.3 million. But then in May, the bids were coming in higher than they expected, because as realtors, you probably know that construction is up, it's hard,
Everything's up.
all the prices are going up. All these construction people are working right now, so it's harder to find them for the
It's
job.
really hard.
Yeah, it's very hard. And all this applied to the library. So then they came back and they said they had to cut the whole thing. It was over $1 million. So Gail Leach, who works at City Hall in the city manager's office, she's done a fabulous job. She had to come back with a list of so-called takeaways. And two of the takeaways we've actually been able to bring back because between the Friends of the Brentwood Library.
Taking away meaning get rid of things?
Yes.
Okay, I was thinking. Okay.
Most
Yeah.
of them were cosmetic in nature, so they're things you wouldn't even miss because they weren't there.
Although it was going to make it a lot nicer.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Things like carpet and stair terrazzo, floor tile.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit about, so when you bring your gift or your donation, the things that it's going to do to help the community. So the money is going to be used for the following. Community conference room equipped with the latest technology. That can be a learning center for people planning seminars, meeting places, etc. for the community and nonprofit organizations. Expanded book collection that will provide residents quick access to books that otherwise would not ordinarily be seen. Public artwork, including a sculpture. Exterior artwork, including decorative beaches and bicycle racks. We need bicycle racks, right? Facilities for tutoring and adult literacy programs. Furniture and computer terminals. Facility for job training and job search activities. Technologies, laptops, lending machines, 3D printers. I mean, they need this stuff to make this library useful and to make it great. So we need money. So maybe we can kind of thank some of the people who have actually made some of the donations.
Our mayor actually gave us $1,000.
Yes,
That's great.
Robert Mayer gave
Rotary
$1,000.
Club.
The Rotary Club just donated $1,000. The Anonymous Givers gave us $10,000. Even the Girl Scouts put together, what was it, $500 that they raised on their
Wow.
right, they raised on their own. That was like a couple of years ago.
How cute is that?
Just in anticipation.
Yeah.
So we really we're asking people if you have a club or whatever, we'd be happy to come talk to your club, not only for the individuals to get money, but maybe the organization. I've spoken to both the Lions Clubs in Discovery Bay and in Brentwood, because everybody wants to be a part of it. This is your chance to be a part of this.
Yes, I'm gonna give $1,000, Homes by Krista. So we'll give
Oh, thank
$1,000. Yes, so you have that, I didn't know you guys needed it, so we're gonna be donating. So we'll get you a check, just let me know how I need to do it.
Okay.
Okay, so, that's great. So anything else that we wanna make sure the community knows and understands? How are we on time?
Well, we got 10 minutes.
Wow, great.
I want to send everybody to remember that the Brentwood Library Foundation has a Facebook page, it's under that name, and we have a website, BrentwoodLibraryFoundation.org.
BrentwoodLibraryFoundation.org, BrentwoodLibraryFoundation.org, and they have a Facebook page.
Right, and so you can go there and it'll show you can even donate from that page, and that'll keep you up on the project. We'll be putting pictures up there, and you can watch. We're just waiting for a little bit stacking up to go, not just the groundwork, so we'll
Yes.
get more pictures.
It'll be
You can
exciting.
stop by and see us at the Will Be the 4th of July
There we go.
parade.
Okay, what's happening? They're gonna be in the 4th of
Yeah,
July.
we
parade.
are going to have a huge banner. We're
Awesome.
at the library, we'll have a couple strong teenagers carrying it. And I think we'll have somebody in an old car driving behind.
No, it's not
because-
such an old car.
No, it's-
One of our members has a really cool sports car.
It's so cool, yeah. Yeah, it's gonna be a cool call.
Yeah, it's a
Come on.
cool car.
Yeah.
So we'll do that, and then maybe some of the people don't even know about this 4th of July celebration, because it's the first time ever the city's done it.
Wow.
And
So yeah, what's happening in the 4th of July celebration? Let's talk about that so everyone knows. 4th of July, we have a party going on in Brentwood.
And it's actually on the 4th of July, the 4th, and there's a parade starting at 9 o'clock,
9 o'clock in the morning.
just where, the homecoming parade's been and everything, just
Okay.
right downtown. And then you go to the park, and they're gonna have like old-fashioned games and stuff, and the Rotary is selling hot dogs.
We're going to be next door selling water.
Yeah, we're selling
Great.
So if you're
water.
thirsty, come by.
It only lasts till 1 o'clock, so it's just a exposure out there. And then also the Harvest Festival, I hope everybody knows about that.
Say it again. It's on East County Fun. But yes,
Yeah, that is on the 8th and 9th, the following weekend, and down in the park. And we're going to be with the other nonprofits, which I believe is going to be in the lobby area of the community center. We're going to have a table there, and so you can stop and see us and find out more information there too. And so I'm always gathering volunteers for things like that. That's an easy job because at least it's inside.
So she's saying that there's volunteers needed for the Harvest Festival, which is the weekend after next. Don't forget the 4th of July parade from 9 to 1 o'clock. And just real quickly, Larry Shuffle, I hope you're still watching. He says, I have a question in regards to the value of my home with new homes being built across the street. I live off Balfour, and there are the Villaggio estates being built across the street. How does this affect my home value? So real quick, we can chat about that, but we're not done with you yet, so you can't leave. I just want to make sure I answer him before it ends. So basically, in my opinion, new homes sell for more as a price per square feet than homes that are already pre-existing. All right, so there's more of them. There's actually 2,500 new homes that are going to be coming into this area from one area all the way down through closer to Kaiser. So there's a lot of new home development that's coming in the area. I don't necessarily think it negatively affects your home. The only thing that might be more appealing on a new home is the fact that it's newer, right? There's less issues, there's less cosmetic things. Most of the newer homes are being built much more of an open floor plan. However, then what also comes with new homes, which is very discerning to some people, is higher assessments. So there's pros and cons, right? If it's a newer home, you're looking at, lower cost for maintenance. It's typically the construction is built more towards what people are liking now. But also with the new homes comes higher assessments. That
You
are,
have to put the yard in yourself.
and you got to put the yard in yourself, and you got to put the
Yes.
Don't forget the curtains.
curtains and the blinds and the landscaping, all that
And you're
stuff.
paying for upgrades. and-
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. So really it's just a personal preference. I wouldn't worry too much about it because some people love new construction and some people don't. I personally have not found it to affect my business at all, any of the new home construction, so I wouldn't be too concerned about that. Yeah. Okay, anything else? Man, we did great today. So I gotta tell you, I learned so much today that I didn't even know, and I feel I'm so
I
blessed.
think we all need to go and explore the library. I
Yeah.
think there's a lot more to it than anyone thought, and whether you're going there to maybe look to throw an event or host something for your business or take your family or just as an individual, just check it out.
Yeah.
I think there's something for everyone there.
That's why I
For-
want to get
for
out
all
more
ages.
to groups to talk to people, because everybody thinks they know it all, they really don't. 'Cause
Yeah.
There's new things all the time.
So you're looking to actually get out there and talk to groups, and so any kind of groups that are out there, moms groups, women's groups, husbands groups, any kind of group, you know, the Rotary, any kind of group that you might have, if you're willing to invite Liz and Bill, and they'll talk to them about it, and, you know, kind of educate everyone just as they've educated all of us today. I mean, I really have learned a lot.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be a great addition to Brentwood, for sure.
It's going to be a great addition.
Yeah.
Great addition to this talk.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Appreciate
of
it.
course. We got, you know, Melissa Hottie over there, and then we got Ian, you know, he's like Mr. Shine. What's that
He's
guy's
our,
name?
he's our statue. No.
Yeah. No, it's that guy, Mr. Clean.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There
we're
we
going to
go.
start calling Ian the financial advisor Mr. Clean. Yeah, so.
Thank you, Krista, for this
Yeah,
opportunity.
Yo, you guys are welcome.
Yeah.
So glad
Very
you
nice
guys
of you.
came. Thanks so much. Again, everyone say goodbye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Mr. Bayshore, owns by Krista.
Yes, we'll see you next week.
Yes.
Thanks for joining us.
We'll be here every single Wednesday from 5 to 6. Next week, Melissa's going to be on vacation, but Ian and I will be here. We're going to
Here.
hopefully have another special guest. We're not
Yes.
exactly sure who. So if you are in the community and you have something you want to get out there, or there's information that you might have, or you want to talk about pretty much anything at all, reach out to me, and we will get you on the show. So we're here to be your resource for anything and everything that has to do with anywhere in East County or Contra Costa County. We're your source.
You got it.
Have a great day.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Okay.